T-Mobile had a very, very good result.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way to characterize this is T-Mobile tired of winning so much, right? If you look at the U.S. market, you have AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, and others, right? And if you look at Verizon's strategy, it's content, and they just realized that buying aged content is not the way to go, and they're selling that off. You had AT&T, who got into everything from HBO to Disney to ESPN, and investors don't like that. And then you have T-Mobile sticking to their swim lane and just absolutely crushing it. And in Q1, what really stuck out for me were the net adds, right? In this business, it's net adds, 1.4 million. That means they took 1.4 million postpaid away from AT&T and Verizon, and it just continues. Net income was almost $1 billion a quarter. Do you like that? $1 billion a quarter. And one of the reasons I like this story so much is T-Mobile got no respect about 5 years, none. The only company that got less respect was Sprint, and they combined. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, two has-beens combining," but now they are kicking AT&T and Verizon's butt, particularly on consumer side, playing the Un-carrier, and it just keeps moving on. If you look on a 5G basis, basically giving away free 5G phones and getting that mid-band 5G has been the magic over and above their competitors' C-band, which isn't even there yet, and these weak millimeter wave that, my gosh, we don't even have millimeter wave in Austin yet. You know, in Austin, Texas, with a TECH. So again, I hate to be blathering on and on here, but is T-Mobile tired of winning yet? Apparently not.
Hey, listen, if Texas, my soon-to-be home, could actually do a little work on getting a few more towers up, that would be great. I kind of have less than impressive cell coverage, but it's kind of like when you go to Barcelona for Bubble World and you're supposed to be like in one of the tech hubs of the world, and you can the Wi-Fi is like, you're getting like 2 megabytes up and down.
We're Austin's an AT&T city when it comes to tower coverage.
But T-Mobile needs to figure out a way to draft off that. We know these companies are pretty creative and clever at using and sharing the bandwidth to make sure that they charge each other. That's how it's always been. But Pat, listen, you hit it on the head. I mean, look, the T-Mobile run, I mean, over the last like 5 years has really been insane to watch. This company was kind of an afterthought. It was like, oh, you can't afford Verizon, you can't afford AT&T. Oh, sure, you could go with T-Mobile. I just want to raise my hand and say I've been using T-Mobile now for 6 years here in Chicago. I believed in it. I really loved the no penalty and the fact that the company had the ambition to start paying people to switch. And why did I love that so much? Well, look, in this business, this is a recurring revenue stream. Selling the phones, not a big deal. It's that every single month that 4, 5, 6 iPhones or smart devices in the household, all at $100 or more per person in perpetuity. And then these companies are adding services on demand. They're adding in-app purchasing. They're adding different media services to up-level the businesses. Of course, Verizon actually just spun off most of its media, worth pointing out. But it's just a really, really smart business. And it's been an interesting transition with the new CEO coming in, because it was such like an over-the-top, on fire kind of brand. And now it seems to be kind of humbling into a little bit more of a, we are the leader now, and acting a little bit differently. But man, when the company was a disruptor, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch it just take market share quarter. Well,
Daniel, that's great observation on it. And when you have CEOs, they're different personalities, but T-Mobile CEO is very much aggressive guy. He's not wearing hats during earnings calls yet. But it's still pretty much orange and upbeat. I think they have to do that to get into the commercial side of the business. T-Mobile launched some really exciting enterprise and commercial services and capabilities that, oh, by the way, I am going to try out. T-Mobile sending me a 5G hotspot that I'm going to park right outside my window. And that's very much aligned with all of the CIO conversations that I'm having, and I'm sure you're having, Daniel. But
Yeah.
we must move on here.
Yeah, I know. I get excited. It's earnings. Look, last thought, Mike Sievert doing a great job. John Legier, he was a fire starter. So it was a perfect transition. Excited to kind of watch how it continues to emerge and grow this space.